All right, guys. Well, thanks for joining me. We're going to do a very quick demonstration and instruction on the Ultimate Website Creator and focus on really basic things, but they're more or less everything you need to build a website. Like, for instance, adding a picture. That's pretty much the kind of stuff that you need to do to build a website. So I'm going to share a screen here and throw up the Ultimate Website Creator. So this is really easy to get to. It's at ultimatewebsitecreator.com. And the way it works is you log in, and if you haven't logged in before, you sign up, and that'll be in another video. And once you go to your sites, it'll say My Sites, and you'll have a little bit more of a graphical representation of the sites that you own than I have as an administrator, but it's basically the same thing. You'll just have a nice picture. And then you go to an action and you will select Edit Site. Now you'll see I'm editing, and I chose the rwsinsurance.com site, which is one of our sites here at our warranty and insurance company. It's a specialty insurer for the home inspection industry for those of you outside the industry watching this. And something else that I did here was I opened up a second tab with this site. So we're starting from a position of you already have a site that you built, or you grabbed one of our templates, and you're starting from there. You're not starting from scratch. We'll do that on another video. So let's assume you have a site that either you paid somebody to build, or you went in and built it yourself, or you grabbed a template, and then you want to change a page. And here's what it looks like. This same site. So here's the edit version within the Ultimate Website Creator. And here's what the actual page looks like. Now, I've been over the last 24 hours kind of obsessing over a new approach to getting people to sign up and apply for insurance. I want it to be a more effective website. And a lot of people go to websites and it just says, hey, here's what we do, and here's our menu, and blah. That's not that fun. I'm not going to click around on that. So what I thought would be better would be to have these buttons light up as you scroll across them, and bring in a couple of points that are very relevant to inspectors. And I'm just going to kind of focus on building one very big point. And that very big point is that, we're the lowest price. We're saving people between 30 and 80% off what they're paying with other errors and omissions, professional liability policies. And that's a key feature. So, we want to focus on that. So we're, instead of making it boring, I highlighted it, but kept it professional. Admittedly, this site was kind of started with some sarcasm on it. And it was good for the time. But now's the time to take that off and go, legit, go corporate. So that's what we're doing. And so I focus on this best coverage and best price, and then you get an instant savings analysis. So which of these describes your business? And then I have to think, who's showing up to my website? What are they perceiving? What's going to appeal to them? And so I happen to have a couple of inspectors on the call here. They would probably vouch for me and say, yeah, I'm either a new inspector, I'm an experienced inspector, or I fit into one of these three categories, at least currently in the condition of the home inspection industry, of 2 to 5, 6 to 10, or 11 plus inspectors. Now you may disagree with that, but that's kind of the way I see it. And it makes it easy for me to create a page for each of these for it to go to. So if you click on experienced inspector, there's not really anything there yet. Okay. It's blank. And all I did was create a page, which I'll show you how to do that before we get off the call here. And I just called it experienced inspector. And then I put it under the get a quote category, which I'll go into as well. And here it is, get that experienced inspector quote. So this is going to be built up as an experienced inspector quote page. And what I really want it to look like I'm going to go back. I'm going to go to my my 6 to 10 inspector firm page, okay, which I've kind of started to build out with this celebration of my clients. So if you're building a website, how can you celebrate your clients? Well, the first thing you do is you find just a killer, rad, awesome picture of them. Hope maybe even with their team here, and then you start building in a cool factor. Make it gray and then make the color pop with their logo. That sort of thing. Build your own brand into it, but make your own brand a side thing. Like we don't even have our whole logo in the picture. Put the client first. But here's one that's a little bit more developed. So here's your multi-inspector quote, your 6 to 10. And this one's a fully developed version of what I want to build on this site. And so it has a button for going to the application. Of course, we want to sell an insurance policy, but then it has a nice testimonial. But it has one other key feature. You have Tony Burke here from Dayton with Accutech Home Inspections, and I have this awesome photo of him with his IR camera. Make it all grayscale, then pop some color with his logo. Get that in ping format. You got to have something with no background. It's got to be transparent. Otherwise, we have to have a whole different kind of conversation, which we will have on another video. But I made this Accutech Home Inspections logo a link that opens a new tab and goes straight to a page on his website that is, well, it might be somewhat self-serving, but it's also a page on his website that sells a lot of home inspections. And these, of course, are some of the products that we sell in the home inspection industry. Now, coincidentally, this was not planned, but I want to take this experienced inspector quote page, and I want to develop that Tony Burke version with a different inspector. And I had not planned this until well, I didn't. Here was the site that I wanted to do it with, and it's Fredsteiner Inspections. And once again, he has a page that might be somewhat self-serving to me, yes, but it also sells a lot of inspections, and he has some cool branding. And he's a great example, I think, of an experienced inspector. So let's go ahead and, well, I guess unless Fred, since he's on the call unexpectedly, has any objection, let's go ahead and build Fred out as the model experienced inspector. That good with you, Fred?
Go for it.
Okay, all right. So the first thing we're going to do is navigate to the page that we created, which I have under the Get a Quote heading, and I'll show you that again later, how I got it there. But I'm going to go to this Experienced Inspector Quote page. To navigate from page to page while you're in the editor, you have to use this drop down that says pages. We can't make it so the links on the page are clickable. Then you couldn't click them and modify them and manipulate them. So that's how you get from page to page. Now, to add a component, first you want to make sure you have enough space. Well, there's a basic header and footer model in these templates. So you can grab the footer and just expand the page. And it's what is referred to as a WYSIWYG, or a what you see is what you get website builder. So as you hover over the line, it'll give a line with an arrow, and then that will allow you to expand. And when you press this plus sign, I know it might be small on your screen, but when I built this, when I designed this, and when I say I designed this, I mean, we literally programmed every aspect of it. We built it from scratch so that I could scratch my own itch, which was making it so my designers who are good at design and my messaging people who are good at communicating, that they could be horrible at building websites, but still get the job done. So all they have is one button. And at the time when I started to build this thing many, many years ago, my iPhone had one button, and I thought that was the coolest thing ever, to have a one button device. So I started with this one button. And when you click that one button, this gives you the ability to insert an element. And I'll let you look at them on the screen for a moment, but there is everything imaginable. Well, not everything, but there's a lot. And probably everything that 99% of websites need, especially as web components out there, e-commerce, and gadgets that you can put into your website. As these become more and more frequently a third-party plugin, well, that's easy. You just go to the HTML add there, or to the frame, and plug and play. Copy and paste whatever they give you. You don't even have to know how to build a website. But let's go with this image for the moment. And we're going to go to when we press image, it throws a no image yet, and then there's this this menu bar. Now that menu bar on any component shows up when you do one thing. So you can touch a component once, and it'll give you the ability to resize it. It'll give you the ability to move it around. It'll even give you the ability to throw it from the main body up to the header. You can put it right up against it, and see this turned into an arrow right there in the top left. Well, that throws it right to the top. Cool stuff. But I want it in the main section, so I'm going to click the down arrow. And if I click it once and then click the settings button, and it just looks like a gear, you hover over it, it says edit component, it'll come up with every possible selection that you could make for that component. And if that menu bar is in your way, you can grab it and move it around. It'll disappear as soon as you click away from the component. So let's go ahead and put in an image, and we'll go to upload, and we're going to go to this right here. I definitely, there it is. I have a Fredsteiner ping right here. No, here it is. I'm going to go with this one. Okay. So here we go. Here's the Fredsteiner graphic that I had made. So, why'd I pick this graphic? Because one, it was going to look pretty good in black and white. Two, he's, up on a roof, and showing clients that you do that is always a positive. So you'll notice though, and I almost forgot to mention it, when I resized this, I grabbed it by the side. If you grab it by the corner, that's how you change one aspect ratio or the other. And I also have it set to be optimized. So you can see how it reacts there. If I take that optimization and I get rid of it, then the next thing that happens is I can resize it, and it didn't work as like expected. It's now keeping the aspect ratio, which is something that I asked for many years ago. And apparently it happened right before they decided to make me look like an idiot on my own training session. So that's good. I'm going to go back and make it optimized, which 9 times out of 10 you want to do. Then I'm going to take it from side to side. And this thing will, you see these lines that pop up. So they'll tell you that you're in the middle of the page, or that you're in line with another component. What I want to do is I want to take it right to the top and to each side, and that'll be just perfect. And it'll snap in. So, you don't have to get it perfect. It'll do it for you. Now I got to add in his logo. So I'm going to go back to that same add image, and I'm going to click upload and find a good Fredsteiner logo. Now I have 2 versions of this because the background, might lend itself better to a white logo and white wording. It might lend itself to darker lettering. So I don't know where I'm going to put it on the image yet. We'll start with the darker lettering and see how that plays out. And once again, I got a ping file with this background that is clear. But look what happened. It threw me a black background. Oh no, whatever will I do? Well, it's pretty easy. Just remember what Nathan said. 9 times out of 10, you want to optimize the image. But about 1 out of 10 times, the optimization that we programmed in coded so that Well, so that anybody making a website that didn't understand what an image should be, that it would optimize to what it should be, sometimes that little program that we built messes up and it misreads what that image is. So if I tell it to stop doing that, then it goes to the normal style of logo. And ooh, check this out. What a cool logo. Now I'm going to take that logo, I'm going to make it small enough that it's kind of visually appealing in this graphic. There's a ratio for that, by the way. But you should have an eye, like make it look good to you first. If something doesn't look right, mess with it until it does look right. Now, does that look perfect? It looks pretty good, and this is the right ratio. And remember, I'm kind of zoomed out here to show you if you're looking at it as a regular website or a customer was there, what are they going to see? Well, they're going to see a little bit better than we were. So I'm kind of okay with it, but I think that we're going to do this. We're just going to make it just a little bit bigger. And we're going to do one more thing. We're going to link up. Remember that logo that was linked to Tony Burke's website with Accutech. Well, that was no accident. We set it up. And how do you do it? You just click that settings gear. If you want to change anything about any component on the website, just click the settings gear and then just go through the list. And so we're going to start on the image. Well, we've uploaded that alt text. Ooh, we can put that in. Cool. Steiner Inspections logo. Ooh, that's good stuff, right? You can set this as a primary image for that page. So what does a primary image do, by the way? Anybody? I'll tell you. I won't make you guess. So if you're posting the link somewhere like, social media, in a text, in an email, and it's going to go out and grab an image, and you send the link to this page, it'll default to that image. So that's, something we could do. Do we want to do it? No, because, I'm promoting my company first, really, on this page. Am I promoting Fred? Yes. And let me show you how. So here's your position. You could, do the, I'm just going to go through all of the options here on an image, the typical ones. You could change the position by pixel if you wanted to. Nobody does that. Just grab it, drag it. The fixed position, you could pin it to the screen. Ooh, what does that mean? That means that it'll be one of those images that when you scroll through that page of the website, it'll stay where it's at to the user. So you can play with that, have fun with it. I don't do a lot of that. Honestly, I like to keep my web pages simple so that if I need to go back and modify, if I need to be flexible and move faster than the other guy and do it myself in under 30 seconds for most of my changes. I spend 30 seconds updating a website. I don't even take the time to convey to somebody else, here's what needs to be done. I just do it. And the reason I do that is simple programming. So I'd probably stay away from that. Style, you can go plain or you can go shadow. Shadow just gives a shadow box, and it's not like a designer did it custom to that. It's a standard shadow for any component. And honestly, on pings, it can look a little bit weird. So, when we add it, what did it do? It just made it like, there's kind of this ghosting gray background. Don't need that. But we do have this link. Okay. Now, if you're building a website and you have something that you're linking to, you got to be careful about that. And I wrote an article today about that included a component about linking to associations and things that are relevant to your business in your mind, but to your client, are they? Maybe not, but definitely don't link to them if they have any links or directories to your competition. That would be a bad idea. Maybe put a logo, but and you can drop it into your website just this way, but don't put a link. But Fred, I like Fred. Fred Fred's the one that pays my power bill. I want him to get as much business as possible. We are partners, our interests are fully aligned. And it's pretty ballsy for for both Fred and me, as an insurance company, to put your client on the website. Because somebody at some point could come along and go, well, gosh, why is he on your website? Was this an endorsement, or whatever? They could start questioning the relationship. I got nothing to hide. It would just be an inconvenience, and maybe a funny conversation that I can record and post on YouTube. But you still have to be careful about what these things could result in if you're not as ballsy. But he's not my business. I don't want clients to leave my site to go to his. So what I do is I select new tab, and then I change the link mode. You see all of these. So you can link to one of these anchors, which I can show you that at some other point. We're not going to do that tonight. But I can link it to a different page by selecting link. And then to get the link, go to the page that you want it to go to, and just copy and paste the entire URL bar. And it gives you an example. Everything you hover over on this website builder, it tells you what to do. It gives you an example of what should be there. So, you can't really go wrong. So we're going to go ahead and go there. Now, one thing it doesn't say, and I'm doing, if you, and you probably wouldn't have noticed, is I'm clicking every time I make a change. I click in the window, like not out here, right here, and it kind of logs that change in the system. I don't know. Here's another thing I can do. I can change the hover version of whatever image I have there. So let's say I love this Steiner Inspections logo, but I want it to turn into that. Yeah, we'll do it. I generally don't do this because I think the white is going to look weird, but let's de-optimize the image and upload the white version of his logo. And then there we go. Should work. We'll see. And then image swap. Let's not worry about that right now, but this is a when it's pressed and it reverts to the original image. This is to make your website more fun, and you can have fun playing with that later. We're not going to worry about that now. And then here's the stretch. This is what I was talking about earlier that they apparently fixed. So it used to be that you could grab one side and it would stretch, another side, the corners it would not stretch. It would just change as you did it. So this button, you can turn that off, and then you can really mess with a graphic. My suggestion to you is generally don't mess with the graphics within the website editor. I like throwing a logo on top of another one. And by the way, if you put it there and it's suddenly lost, it could be that it is underneath the other one. So you look at these layering, and I can send it one layer down. Well, there it is. Then it's underneath this one. So I take it one layer up, and there it is. All looks good, and it has this link. Let's go ahead and do something now. I'll add some text just as a and it's coming soon kind of text. But what I'll do is I'll cheat, and I'll go to another page, that multi-inspector page, and I'm going to grab the save it over 50% on your insurance here button. And I'm going to go over to management. I'm going to say copy component. I'm going to go back to this experienced inspector quote, and I'm going to click paste component. So I didn't have to make that again. I put it right here. I think that's cool the way it's over that, but it turns different colors. Let's see, what else do I want to do? Oh yeah, that verbiage. So I'm going to go back to this to Tony's page, and I'm going to grab some of his what he said. Okay, I'm going to grab his quote, and I'm going to, I spent a little bit of time on this quote, messing with the text, which is pretty easy. You just edit text or click in the box, and you can highlight, and then change the font style. This is a pretty standard way to change your fonts and your look. So I don't think I need to train anybody on how to do that, but who knows? We might end up with a tutorial video just on text. But once you have something set, you want to keep that same look throughout the website. The easiest way to do that is just to grab one of your text boxes and copy that component, and then wherever you want to drop it, paste it. So we're going to go back to, went the wrong one. We're going to go back to this experience inspector, and we're going to drop that component in, and we're going to act like he says the exact same thing as Tony, but we're going to take that one layer down. And 1 second, we got a conflict here, right? So we have the logo is not cooperating. We're going to move it over here. I'm going to take this guy and move him back. And, you can see, like, if I get stuck, I don't need to call tech support. I just click around until it kind of fixes itself. And it's very, very seldom that I have to call in IT, or that we get any true request for tech support. So I'm going to leave this guy right here for now. I'm going to change the name Tony Burke to Fred, because that would be weird. Because right now I am going to do something else that I think is intimidating to many, which is saving and publishing a website. And again, I'm going to pull up this page right here. This is what it looks like now, as far as the internet is concerned, what people actually see. But when I do a change, I do live changes. So I'm going to click save first. And when I click save, it's going to come up with a little warning that says, hey, this is a background process. You can continue doing what you do. And then when you see at the top right of the screen, success, you're good to go. So, we can just sit here and wait. You'll see this thing pop up just about right there. There it is, success. It's been saved. Then I go to this arrow with a cloud and click publish. Now, we have timed this against every other builder. And for whatever reason, I'm not saying I'm a genius. I'm not saying I'm even good at this. I'm saying maybe I was really, really hard, even for these Ukrainians that I had build this thing, really, really hard on them, because they did so well that these sites just naturally SEO quite well. They publish and they're available everywhere on the interweb in under 60 seconds. And I've only been talking for 10 to 15. So in about 10 seconds, we're going to go check. Usually it's there in 20 seconds. And it's also incredibly fast. We lease and operate oversized servers. We have an oversized pipe. We do not want anybody to come to one of our sites, which we have, a lot of sites. We don't want them to have problems. So, your sites aren't likely to have those problems either. But now it's been about 30 seconds. So let's go ahead and refresh. And whoa, there it is. So we built a website. I think everybody on this call should probably be able to do all of that. We can have a little Q&A. We can demonstrate some other stuff wherever you guys want to go. But I wanted to keep this really basic and just do, the things that you're mostly going to do. You're going to pick a template, or you're going to spend some real time building a website, and then you're going to modify. That's going to be most of the things that you do on your website if you're utilizing the Ultimate Website Creator, which I would highly recommend to anyone. And let me tell you a few reasons why. One, it's cheap. Two, it was built by me, so it's good. And also, it makes it incredibly easy for you to make changes on the fly. Let me give you an example. And this is something that was impressive to a client partner group of clients. We are holding a conference in the state of Florida called Inspection Expo, and we have a partner there, Inspection Go, that is holding a mastermind meeting, and they came up with this whole website with this great big schedule. And oh man, you look at it and you go, God, they put so much effort into that. And they texted it to me after working on it for God knows how long. And just to kind of screw with them, less than 2 minutes later, I sent them back a site that had everything their site had on it. Now that's something you can do very, very easily. Let's say there's something that is, a good partner situation, is something that is a local to your town event, something that you would have some benefit. Maybe it's charitable benefit. Maybe it's, a little bit more self-serving, but you would like to add a page and add a resource to your website without losing the traffic. That's super, super simple. All you have to do is add a page, name it, and frame it. So open forum. If within 10 seconds somebody doesn't unmute their mic from right now and ask me something, I'm going to go build a framed page of this on a different site.
Quick question. When you copy component like that button of 50%, say 50%, and you paste it somewhere else, does the link go with that component?
Yes, good question. So what he's referring to, so we talked about those settings, and on a button, this is a button, by the way. So if I was to add a button, it's not too complicated. You just press the plus sign, you go to a button, and this is what the standard button looks like before you make changes. So how do we turn this button into that? Well, the first thing we do is we click the edit button, and we set the background. I suppose that blue is fine, but we need to make the background hover a different color. And I think it was actually this color right there. There we go. So now we have a hover color, and then we need to go to the text and font. And obviously it doesn't say button there. It says save over 50% on your E&O insurance here. So then when I click out of it, guess what it does? It changes it. And that's what I meant by clicking out of it before. Also, the text alignment is centered. That's fine, but I don't think this is open sans. Let me check it. I can go to the settings, go to the text and font, and look, it's open sans bold at 14 point. So I can go back to this one, go to the settings, go to text and font, go to open sans bold, and 14 point, good to go. And then on the border, there's a border radius that's probably been changed. I'm going to guess that's how they did the curves. No, yes, 10 pixels on the border radius. So let's change this guy to border radius 10 points. 10 pixels, excuse me. And then now it's curved. Now all we have to do is change the size. Cool. And we went through all that trouble. And then, by the way, here's another way to get it right. So if you want to adjust something and make sure it's the same size as something else, you just put it next to it. Let that guideline guide you into, the bottom, for instance, and then grab the top. It'll guide you down to the other dimension, and then do the same thing underneath. There we go. And now we have two identical buttons, but they don't go to the same place yet, because this button, if you go to the setting tab and you go to the link, it says page apply now. This one, I go to the settings, link, page, none. So I want to go to apply now, which is, there we go, right there. So I went through all that trouble, or I could have done this. Copy component, and then this is the real question you should have asked, by the way. When I copy a component, can I paste it on a different page? Well, you saw me do that, but you can paste it on the same page too. There it is. It popped up. But if you're on the same page and you don't want to go through the hassle of pressing two buttons. All you do is press on a component and click duplicate, and you'll have two of them, same, and all of the settings are exactly the same. So question answered. Good one. Anybody have another question like that? That's wonderful. Exactly what I was looking for from this group. Wayne, you're ready to build a website, aren't you? You know what we're going to do? We're going to do this on a future video, a future tutorial on this website creator. We're going to call the series Wayne Builds a Website. And yeah, and instead of like having a serious content thing, we're going to make it about Big Bird, or something like that. I think that
Okay.
all right, you're in. You're gonna do it.
I'm in. Yeah.
All right. So, but do you feel like you could change one of your websites?
Yes.
Excellent. Have you ever modified a website with the Ultimate Website Creator?
No.
All right. You should probably log in and do that. By the way, we can assign you any of your websites. So if you're one of those folks, including a couple on this on the screen here, that have websites that we've built for them, and you go, man, I would love to modify that website, but it doesn't show up on my list of websites. All you have to do is send us an email and let us know which site, and we will assign it to you, and it will show up in your list of sites. Otherwise, you can start a new one or start with a template. Last chance for questions, and we will then end it for the night. Okay, cool. Well, hey, you know what? It's a complex thing to build a website, even when we make it super simple. And that's why we're going to do a bunch of these videos for all of you. ultimatewebsitecreator.com. If you have any serious questions that you want answered on the next tutorial video, send it to Nathan@nathan.tv. See y'all.